The breaking news coming through is that the Mamprusi for Ehinenana or Bawku Ayefreno Alhaji Sedu Abagri Al-Hassan, and then he's still in custody. Na nasem no yede na kwa kujina courts. Na wo hwe de eba yede 4 charges abono. Now we are going to go into the charges, and then we are going to go into the potential penalties. Say charges na yede abono no. Yehune say or ye guilty, what is going to happen? And then ye better know. And the turn this case has taken, I'm not going to lie. I think say there is a message coming from government on this particular matter. And the message is clear. Government is saying, say, listen, asem way, say ya so swache. Edru baby, I was say you take action so as to serve as deterrent for others. Basically, I think that is the message the government is trying to take on this particular matter. Because you see, Otumfo say to the recommendation, no, and someone what kind say, Papa no, either say, Yebemanati as say, or persona boko wa obey ordinary citizen, and I say yemfa nko back to a year the Nairi na yema reassignments. But clearly we got a message, and then in the recommendation again, Otumfo say to Tuka say obi biara waye na adwin say on pese recommendation no obe follow bia no yemma mbra ni nimdi. It was part of the recommendation. Yaka say we obi ati hasemo ase ye the conclusion aba. Obi a why na say still wono de kumkum no pese ekoso. Basa yo no pese ekoso a ye make sure say mbrani ni bedi. Now what shall response are a free na yiri ho eba na clearly it was a rejection of the mediation reports. And so what it meant was that sa condition and no Otumfo say to aka say was ye ma mbra any a year obi biara why na say wo begina asem nenim no one person obefo aso no ye mam brani ninde no. It looks like that was the option that was left for government to take. Into woshe day na yiri ne letter ne ba abonten a strong worded letter also came from government award say Otumfo ne recommendation no it is going to be heeded too. And indeed yehu say aban take action no. But for me sitting here, I'm not going to lie, I felt say baby assembly do no na nkomo koyi Mamprusi for hin ne free bokwa ebia na nkomo de no bekwa wale. That's what I thought. But it looks like government does not want to play with this issue because of probably the message coming from the other side that womo pese womo ka se womo ntiase. Nti so se won ntiase na ebia wo de nipa chronicle bioma. Se wan hwe ya still womo de ombeka so womo hin no. No one here, I be a person so the nakobokubium. Right? And so it looks like government is trying him, and then possibly no, it looks like charges are no. If he is found guilty, he might be jailed. Assembly baby ababedu no. And that's the truth of the story. And so we are going to read and then see what's going on. And then here we are. We will check through a year Ganambra. Say charges na yede bono no. If he's found guilty, and then they to me atono. So basically, this is the story. Into breaking news at Ebane say the Accra High Court has denied bail to Sedu Abagri Al-Hassan. We are going to go into it. And that your first time was subscribing, now click the notification bell on this. So we are our latest news be aba on sa ebeka. Na ebusian for me guswa kaimu say Novdek eba. Na Novdek na eba no. Se o akwale bi a wo trobi. O wa fasi bi ana wankasa wo tie me o pese o tron of deca. The only school I'm recommending amount a Sanctuary College. The only reason why I am recommending this school is say obi biara or register of deck with them biano or pass it with flying colors. Frewomo it was 053 77 30272. They have hostel facilities and fahu baby awo ombe to me aso mu. Naturally say, what to me a passing of deck no na wakwa koye course bia opese okokoye. Na eniji semu woman say Sanctuary College no omo teachers no ewo WhatsApp group a wo mo train kolana de survey past questions. There is a link in the comment box ni muno. The last link no. Ube say my indicate o click here. Ube to me join the WhatsApp group no. And quickly, na join the WhatsApp group no. Me sanso Kyle aside this no. Me sanso Kyle say ende international organizations na mayati said the best place to invest in Ghana. Oba Africa ha. We are say afanai baby the best place to invest ende Ghana. Book na eda screen in him na show 4 different sectors my remua. So we invest here, you are going to reap benefits. Book ni din the Ghanaian investor. And they will call Amazon now ko share any book on investment in Ghana. This is the only book you are going to get. If you want the hard copy, you can get it on Amazon. So open soft copy na, PDF na, 100 cedis per. Unima kenkanya, don't worry. There is the Tree video and there is the English video. Frey 055-807-4986. And I was happy that same number no. You are going to get the book. There is a link also. Comment box no links no miensa. The second link no. O click here. On sabeka. Obetumi download the book no. Ewo phone so. Yon konsem ni mo. I say the Accra High Court has denied bail to Alhaji Seidu Abagri Al-Hassan, ordering him to remain in the custody of the National Intelligence Bureau. Alhaji Seidu Abagri has been formally charged with impersonating a chief without proper qualifications and inciting riots in connection with the Bawku chieftaincy dispute. Now we are going to go into charges now. No, don't worry. Me hune say some Mamprusi for being so eka say ani papa ni yen release na omo de Boko Haram be Ghana, and so we'll deal with that later. Don't worry. Also, during his arraignment, on January 19th, a year enra, he pleaded not guilty to all 4 charges. The court rejected his bail application after the state argued that his release could threaten national security and disturb the peace in Bawku. Now, let's go into charges now, no, so as to understand what is going on, right? Into any let's look through the charges. Now, charges now no 4 charges, right? 1, acting as a chief without qualification, and this is contrary to Chieftaincy Act 2008, Act 759. Say ohini na wo ye ne ho say oye ohini no na wo ni to me say also oyesa oni qualification bia number 1 charge I dey abono. Provocation of riots contrary to section 200 of the Criminal Offences Act. I don't know the evidence abankra, but yesusu say bokunto kwa esi ya Mamprusi fo ni kusasi fo ku omo hu ni na yesusu say papa yi ni nsashim onu no provocative riot no nti ye de sa charge na ebo no allegedly. Or say offensive conduct conducive to breach of the peace. Or ye nyama bi a ema asumdwe eko atwe. I don't know whether it is the right pronunciation or right expression. But ye nyama bi a wo ma asumdwe yira ye ebo Bawku. Fighting with weapons, and also another charge say or the weapons. And so basically, now, these are apparently the 4 charges are yede abono. And it is stemming from allegations say he unlawfully presented himself as Bawku Naba, contributing to violent clashes in the Kusasi Mamprusi conflict. Now, potential penalties. Let's go into the penalties and see. Say indeed, see you're finding it guilty. Say any of the charges, no, you're finding it guilty. Say indeed, why ya? Edian ena ebeto eye pape. Let's go into it. I say Ghana's Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, categorizes offences by severity, felony versus misdemeanor, with penalties ranging from fines to imprisonment. Specific maximum sentences for these exact charges aren't always publicly detailed in summaries, but comparable offenses provide context. Now, see provocation of riots or inciting riots, or say or unlawful assembly under related sections. Also, this is typically treated as a serious public order offense. Similar crimes, example, riot-related or breach of peace, leading to violence, can carry imprisonment for several years, potentially up to 5 to 10 years, depending on severity and impact. Into one of the charges, no, si you say, or you're guilty, you bet to me a man of 5 to 10 years. Na a charge being provocation of riots. Set in Tokwane si ye no, ye di asha ne kono. You say indeed evidence etre so no ye nyame bi a man Tokwane ba ye dia. And no kwana sa charge no. 4 charges oba sa charge no kwano. You bet me adim for 5 to 10 years. Acting stroke impersonating as a chief without qualification. Also, this falls under chieftaincy laws rather than general impersonation, which might carry up to 2 to 5 years for public officer cases. In chieftaincy context, especially where it fuels conflict, courts often impose custodial sentences to deter escalation, likely several years of imprisonment. Into woshe die yese oko acte as ohene embra woni qualification no. Yese normally say ye chiga ne ni bi se o impersonate nipa. Ye mani 2 to 5 years. Inti me melodies amiti he no obi akwa ye ne ho te se wo ye me na wo di akwa di boni bi ye chi se nipa kro na obedi mbe ye 2 to 5 years. But eba na ahensem a na ahensem no anam so amantokwa esidi a eno no eya na ye pese a send strong message so that obi nkonko yes ade no te no no ye mani pa ko ni dim che esin 2 to 5 years no. I hope you understand what's going on. So I say the other 2 charges, offensive conduct stroke breach of peace and fighting with weapons, are generally misdemeanors or lower felonies with penalties up to a few years imprisonment or fines. Also, if convicted on multiple counts, sentencing could run concurrently or consecutively. But you are saying charges need na say the bona you betumi aka say on running no concurrently. Ni aka say concurrently not to say bia the first charge me finding guilty near see onko 5 years. Now the second charge you finding guilty and also near say bia onko 3 years ye mfa mbom nka so onko 8 years. You betumi aka say concurrently into all year charge for we no year for we. But you say that's what it means. Leading to a substantial prison term, potentially 5+ years, possibly more if aggravating factors like national security risk or death, injuries in Bawku are linked. Courts may also impose fines. A year custody stroke remand. He remains in National Intelligence Bureau custody pending trial. Bail denied on January 19th due to risks to peace in Bawku and national security. Broader impact. A guilty verdict could reinforce the state's recognition of the rival Bawku Naba Asigri Abugrado Azoka II, affirmed via Asantehene mediation, weakening Mamprusi claims in the dispute. It might also lead to restrictions on his involvement in chieftaincy matters. The trial is ongoing. Next adjournment around early February 2026 after disclosures. So no verdict has been reached yet. It's basically, these are the facts, and then the projections are Mianka Sanso Mitumi Meki on the case. And as I told you, government is coming out with a clear message. What government is trying to say, and they say, Yabre Bokunto Kwano. Anyone who wants to come government's way would be crushed. Basically, that's the message government is sending by this action. Right? And Grofobeka said Bokunto Kwana Abano. I say, no. Boko asusumu sa, and it's still going on. And so it looks like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama buying and say he's coming in with all seriousness to deal with it once and for all. Let's see how it goes. Montreal Mwadjeni comment box nimo. But that's it.